This for the crown, this for the crown. This for my homies and brothers, they know that I love them. I got them, I'm holding it down. Shorty, you pretty, you been in my city. I promise, I'll show you around. This for my city, 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 this for my city. This for my homies and brothers, they know that I'm holding it down. Shorty, you pretty, you gun in my city. I promise, I'll show you around. This for my city, this for my city, this for the that live in my city. This is for Ricky. Soon as you step in the city, you notice who reppin' the city. Stay in my city, never do play with my city, cause that ain't okay in my city. Flying, babies is mothers is crying, pray for my city. Look how we move, standing on business. All of these shoes, you never gon' miss us. Riding in farms with bet if I like her, I'm probably gon' this for the city, this for the ones that ain't make it. Screaming out, we made it, feel we the greatest. Show 'em we nothing to play with and give them a reason to hate it.
I'm Brian Anderson. With me tonight, Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson, with Ali LaForce joining us courtside. And so off the tip, it'll be the Bulls. Now here's Doncic. Pass to Williams. Three-pointer. Knocks it down from distance.
A shot that Williams continues to work on. You love seeing these type of results.
In 2024, Luka Doncic recorded 6 consecutive 30-point triple-double games.
That's right, B.A. The first time anyone has done it in NBA history. So if you didn't already believe in Luka magic, well, there's some proof that the magic is real. Adding insult to injury with the dunk off the steal.
Nice to see a good play on D. That led to some fireworks.
Once he poked it away, you knew what was on his mind.
Now here's Smart. Screen by Capella. And it's Capella with the jam.
Look, Smart's offensive impact, sometimes that's the underrated aspect of his game. But he is a legit two-way player. His ability in the pick and roll is something that is always a positive thing for his team.
Here's Shannon. Pass to Doncic. From deep. Aldama grabs the board. On offense, here is San Antonio. It's a three-point game. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. And that's a foul called on OG Anunoby. That's his first foul of the game.
First team.
San Antonio with the ball. Here's Aldama. Yes, and it's Murray picking up the assist.
The growth of Murray continues to impress me, especially watching him dish it like that right there.
Pass to Shannon. Back to Doncic. There's a screen from the arc. Smart grabs the miss. All right, let's get a report from Ali.
Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. He had a sleepless night trying to figure out how to stop Luka Doncic. He said it's rare to see a player force the other 9 players on the floor to play at his pace. It's very methodical. Like a machine, he said Doncic shows no mercy. Brian?
Okay, thanks, Ali. Now, here's Williams. Checking the numbers, he's averaging close to 15 a game. A nice shot by Doncic.
Along with everything else, Doncic is a knockdown three-point shooter.
Here's Smart. 4-point game. Down low. The rebound by Edey. Doncic with it. Big-time contributor on offense. Just over 22 points a game.
Using that change of pace off the dribble, Doncic gets the shots he wants.
Now here's Smart. Outside Murray. Fires for 3. it down.
Get him the ball anywhere close to the hoop, that thing is over.
Doncic right side. The kick out to Williams. And again, it's Chicago with a three.
Wow. Some strong perimeter shooting here in the first quarter.
And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Spurs trail by 8.
Substitution for your Spurs.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. Here's Shannon. Oh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now. Richard, when it comes to the Bulls, they have one of the most committed fan bases in the league.
Yeah, the Chicago fans are for real. The Bulls are routinely at the top of the list for total attendance. Even on the road, there are usually Bulls fans sprinkled in every crowd. For a star like him, you get lots of opportunities at the line, and he's great at cashing them in.
To the wing, right side. Here's Edey. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Plays like that, so easy for him.
Lowry surveys the D. Pass to Hachimura. Back to Lowry. Here's Capella. The rebound by Edey.
Outstanding work to send him away. They sniffed that one out.
And here's Doncic. 6 points for him. Outside Anunoby. Just 5 on the clock. Tries it from the top of the key. Nice jump shot. Doncic has got 8 points.
Building a big advantage early with a terrific all-around performance.
They got off to such a hot start, and that can keep you energized throughout the whole game.
Here's Capella. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
They're one of the best rim runners in the game. Capella is underappreciated at times because he doesn't fit the mold of the modern big. But he rebounds, defends, and takes shots he knows he can make.
And the NBA moving to a 2-day draft. Your thoughts on the change, Grant?
You know, BA, a lot of pro sports are shifting to multi-day drafts. And the NBA draft can be long if done all in one evening. So maybe a good choice to break it up.
Now here's Doncic. Give him 8 points now. So both teams changing it up here.
Substitution on the court.
And so Lowry will bring it up for San Antonio. They trail by 9. Love up top. From outside the arc. And it's Chicago with a board. Here's Doncic. Big-time contributor on offense. Just over 22 points a game. And Kyle Lowry is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul. Bull substitution. George. D'Anthony Melton.
Now Doncic. It's George on the wing. From outside, off the mark.
He is just so deadly from out there. You expect that to fall.
Lowry outside. There's a screen by Love. They get it back. Out to Lowry. Here's Hachimura. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Bulls leading by 9. Doncic feeling it out a bit. It's George on the wing. The shot is good. Doncic making the play.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
Here's Hachimura. And he's in the books. Now 1 for 2.
Looking confident inside. At 6'8", Hachimura is more than capable of inflicting some damage down there.
Richard, it's nice to have the versatility of a guy like Hachimura. Equally comfortable at either forward position.
Well, he's got the size and strength of a modern-day NBA power forward, but he also has the ability to stretch the floor and knock down a three. That's a nice combo. You could argue that Kevin Love is the finest passing big of his generation. I don't know who's making that argument, but he is always looking to get others involved.
Now here's Anunoby. Yet to see a basket. Pass to Doncic. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Up and over Lowry. Doncic, no good.
And usually that's a bucket for him, but look, nobody's perfect in the mid-range.
Here's Love. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. Now here's Doncic. Give him 8 points now. To the paint. And finished off by Hayes.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
They came out swinging, really setting the tone on offense, and the opposition has not been able to respond.
Now here's Lowry. Out to Hachimura. Up and over Doncic. It's wide right. Hits off the rim. Chicago leading by 10. And Kyle Lowry is going to pick up the foul. That'll be a second foul of the game.
You know, the question is, do you leave him in? A third foul this early could spell trouble.
So both teams making some changes here. Here's Black. Pass to Hayes. George outside. Over Hachimura. Love grabs the miss.
And he felt like he needed a little bit more space with the fade to get off a shot, but that might have been what threw him off and made him miss.
Now here's Love. No points so far. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. It's going to go on Jackson Hayes.
Yeah, and Bay has a nice shot, and the defenders are aware of it, and it definitely worked in his favor that time.
Both teams will make substitutions. 1:15 left in the first. Here's Black. Pass to Melton. Here's Black. Five to shoot. Jaquez, the open look. Rebound by San Antonio. Bay with it. He's averaging about 6 points per game. There's 39 seconds left now in the first quarter. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Yeah, looking agile in the screen and roll. Bay is also capable of creating with his ball handling.
Here's Black. He got a piece of it. Outside, Alexander Walker. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. He's got his first free throws of the night right here. First one falls for him. That one falls, so he hits both of them. 8 seconds left to play in the first. Here's Black. No good. Misses at the buzzer. Oh, what a performance by Luka Doncic. He has been the story for Chicago.
23.
And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And let's take a moment to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far for the Bulls.
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
Another thing they're doing well early on is moving the ball, playing selfless basketball, and getting everybody involved on the offensive end.
And here's Saric for three. Hits a three-pointer.
As a big, unless you're a dedicated rim runner, have to be some kind of threat from distance.
Here's Doncic. Doncic throwing his weight around.
Oh, Luka is so skilled at using his body to create good looks inside.
Pass to Alexander Walker. And Luka Doncic is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game. And timeout is called by Billy Donovan. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. The Bulls making a switch here. Here's Aldama. Saric down low. Clock at 6. Outside, Alexander Walker. The three is up. Nice start for him. Sinking his first shot.
Their defense has to do a better job of smothering those shooters.
Pass to Simmons. Outside, Williams. And it's Simmons with the jam.
As a scorer, Simmons' best work comes right at the rim.
San Antonio trailing here. Outside, Alexander Walker. Here's Shepard, guarded by Doncic. Bay left side. Perfect night so far, 2 for 2.
And we see Bay's game evolving over time, including being more aggressive inside.
Pass to Shannon. Back to Doncic. And here's Simmons. He's averaging about 6 points per game. Williams in the post. And Williams punches it home.
A savage reverse jam. That takes great body control.
No question. He was making a statement right there, man. Back to Aldama. Hey, it's blocked by Simmons.
Attacking that shot. Simmons aggressive on the defensive end.
It's his first trip to the line.
Second team foul.
Free throw good. Saric. RJ displaying at a faster pace. Work the same in the regular season as it does in the playoffs?
Depends on the opponent. Teams that like to slow it down and can be methodical in the half court can make it a slugfest. You have to be ready for that. It's always nice to see a big fella be able to knock down some free throws and make teams pay from the line.
Williams from long range. Kicks it to Doncic. He's off on that one. Saric with some nice D. And Jaime Jaquez gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
They're having a hard time with fouls. It's still early, but one more and they'll be over the limit.
And stolen by Simmons. And it's Simmons with the jam.
Coast to coast. Simmons with the length to poke it away and finish it with speed.
Pass to Saric. Now Aldama. Alexander Walker with it. Guarded by Doncic. 6 to shoot. Now Alexander Walker. Williams grabs the board. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Pass to Jaquez. And Bay pulls it down. And so it's Bay who brings up the ball for the Spurs. Trailing by 2. On the wing, Murray. Back to Aldama. The 3 is up. It's hauled in by the Bulls. They held a 12-point lead earlier. To the inside. Simmons. And it's Simmons with the jam.
You can tell Doncic trusts his teammates. He'll get them looks and doesn't insist on doing everything himself.
Aldama outside. Pass to Šarić. Back to Bay. Inside. And stolen by Williams. Now here's Jaquez. He's scoreless. And it's going to be a 3-second call. And San Antonio making a change here.
Substitution for your Spurs. Rui Hachimura.
Spurs trail by 4. Alexander Walker with it. 5 points in the game. Using his post moves to get the 2 points. Alexander Walker's got 7.
Breakdown for the defenders, and you can't ask for an easier bucket than that.
Doncic with it. Checked by Murray. To the middle. Here's Simmons. And we'll have a timeout called by Billy Donovan. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Here's Black. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Edey. Fires the 3. Smart grabs the miss. Now Capella. On the wing, Murray. Still no points. No good. That would have tied it. Chicago leading. Here's George. Outside, Williams. Pass to Edey. And he banks in the layup. And the Bulls lead by 4.
That's been the story of their offense so far. Getting a number of looks from point-blank range.
Capella with it. Fontecchio outside. Shoots over Anunoby. Second chance effort. Williams grabs the board.
That's just the bucket like you expect him to make. It's tough when you miss them.
George for 3. Fires in the triple. And now it's a 7-point Bulls lead.
You give a shooter of his caliber that much time to seam it up? Oh, yeah, you're done.
Pass to Capella. On the wing, Murray. Sinks that one after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
Even inside and against contact, Murray stays flexible and gets to his finish.
Pass to Edey. Pulls it from 20. And Chicago again with a bucket.
He'll be asking for some lottery numbers later if he keeps knocking down shots like that.
Hachimura outside. Now here's Capella. And the slam dunk by Capella.
Yeah, at the offensive end, more often than not, you'll find Capella at the rim.
Outside Anunoby. The 3 ball. Another 3 for Chicago.
He drops yet another dive, just facilitating this offense like a maestro.
Pass to Capella. Back to Smart. Outside Murray. And DeJounte Murray is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
Chicago leading by 8. A chance here to catch up with Ali from the sideline.
Well, Simone Fontecchio, a name some may struggle with, but as well as he's played, get to know it. Actually, his teammates nicknamed him Tech. He said, when I first got to the NBA, they started calling me that, and I was like, guys, I don't like it. No one's ever called me that. But then it stuck to me. Now I like it. Brian?
Yeah, now you have to like it. All right, great story, Ali. Robbed. And up the court come the Bulls on the break. And an Obi for 3. It's good. Set up beautifully by George. And Anunoby's got 6 points.
They've had a hard time shutting down the three-point shot.
Fontecchio up top. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet.
And one of the reasons they're down right now is because they've fallen in love with the jump shot.
There's 49 seconds left in the second quarter. Pass to Williams. And the 3 off target. Spurs trail by 13. Fontecchio left side. To the paint. It's picked off. Down low. Here's Anunoby. Rebounded by the Spurs. They'll be playing host to Houston for their next game. And there's a whistle. That goes on Vince Williams. That's his first foul.
14 foul. Substitution on the court.
Now Lowry. Inside. Here's Capella. The shot that time not on target. It could go. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's the Chicago Bulls in a good situation, up by 13 points to close the quarter. Tough to run with them. They get the ball up the court so fast. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And it's Murray with the ball for the San Antonio Spurs. It's a 13-point game. Pass to Love. Here's Aldama. Hachimura sets a screen. Aldama with it. And it's Anunoby picking him up. And here's the fast break. Here's Williams. And Williams punches it home.
And I think that play tells you everything you need to know. They're simply playing at a higher level, getting a steal and turning it into quick points.
Now here's Alexander Walker. Puts up a deep 3. They grab their own miss. Six on the shot clock. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Now that's how you use the screen right there.
And it leads to a thunderous finish. That was nice.
Yeah, you like the pick to set up the open shot. But when it leads to a dunk, okay, even better. You'll take it.
Williams on the wing. And it's all from 3-point range. Spurs trail by 13. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Here's Murray. Doncic grabs the miss. Here are the Bulls with the ball. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. Pass to Hayes. Doncic outside. Lets the 3 fly from behind the arc. And Shannon gets it to go. Shannon's got 5.
See, he had time to line it up. And you know what? He's capable.
And here's Love. On the wing, Hachimura. Outside Murray. Back to Hachimura. Goes up and lays it in. Nice and easy.
I know what they say, defense wins championships, but you need some bucket getters too now.
Hayes with a screen. Here's Doncic. And finished off by Hayes.
You know, the instincts of Luka Doncic are second to none. Such a natural playmaker.
Outside, Alexander Walker. No good on the triple.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Pass to Shannon. And out of bounds. San Antonio will have it. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Murray inside. Now Smart. To the inside. 4 on the clock. It's blocked. Ooh, stolen by Murray. Deflects the pass. And stolen by Williams. Right side, Anunoby. Doncic outside. Pass to Shannon. Takes a 3. Rebound by San Antonio. Trying to claw their way back into this.
And the best way to do that, minimize your mistakes and take good shots.
Here's Capella. Doncic grabs the miss. And Chicago has possession. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. Inside. And finished off by Hayes.
And they've got all the confidence in the world letting Luka run the pick and roll. Just a top-notch decision maker.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And we'll have a timeout called by Billy Donovan. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. Some changes for Chicago. Lowry with it. Pass to Šarić. Back to Lowry. Now here's Šarić. San Antonio again can't hit. Here's Black. No made baskets yet. Down low. Kicks it to George. Beyond the arc. The rebound by Lowry. Spurs trail by 18. Pass to Marshall. 5 on the clock to win the drought. That's good. And so Lowry with the assist. Marshall's got his first points of the game.
A title-winning point guard, Kyle Lowry, making the right choice there.
Williams with the screen. Here's Black. Misses the 3.
And the defense dodged one right there. Not the guy you want to leave open.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Pass to Simmons. Lowry with a steal. May with it. Here's Marshall. Lowry outside. Šarić outside. Shot clock at 6. Here's Marshall. And he slams it in one-handed.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
What a finish. I mean, he just took over himself.
What a show of power right there from the point guard. Man, sweet.
A point guard getting up like that? Boy, that is special.
Good on the shot.
And another great assist. The offense is really clicking now.
Here's Black. George outside. Pass to Black. There's the drive. The Bulls need to get off a shot. Unloads. Williams misses. And so it's Smart who brings up the ball for San Antonio. They trail by 14. And the foul on Ben Simmons. That's his first foul of the game. Here's Marshall. He has 6. And there it is for him. Marshall's got 8 points in the quarter.
He's getting after it, but needs some help if they're going to get it done.
Outside Jaquez. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Bulls?
They have found a lot of success in transition, running at every opportunity and getting points before the defense can get set.
And another note, how about the way they've cashed in off turnovers, taking advantage when given the extra opportunity.
To the paint. Here's Simmons. And it's Simmons with the jam.
Huge size disadvantage for the defense. Might as well just get out of the way.
Here's Marshall. Give him 8. Pass to Šarić. Over Simmons. Šarić shot is off. Out left to the wing. Outside Jaquez. Now here's Simmons. Just 5 to shoot. And the layup is good. Simmons has got 10.
Playing bully ball inside. Simmons very effective around the rim.
Bay outside. Pass to Smart. Back to Bay. Fires the 3. Williams grabs the board. Chicago leading by 17. Here's Black. George outside. To the middle. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
I tell you, a little extra pressure on D when you're up against a point guard who can elevate.
It doesn't make it easy, does it?
Yeah, hard to strategize for a guy who can make a pass or a play like this right in your face.
Here's Lowry. Hey, it's blocked by Simmons.
An all-defensive selection in this league. Ben Simmons has all the tools to be elite on this end.
Outside Jaquez. Here's Black. Back to Jaquez. Some room here for George. Rebounded by the Spurs.
And they can run out the clock here. No need to rush it.
Yeah, and you don't have to be quick. You just have to be deliberate.
Bay inside. And here's Šarić for 3. Oh, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And so it's Chicago, up 19 points as the quarter comes to a close. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. Chicago leading by 19. Here's Shannon. Pass to Anunoby. Doncic outside. Tries again. Driving inside. Here's Shannon. Doncic on the wing. 6 to shoot. And again, Chicago, no good.
And imagine how good they'll look if he can start to chip in a bit more offensively.
And out of bounds, it'll be Chicago ball.
Yet another miscalculation. They are really their own worst enemy right now. It's why they find themselves way behind.
Kicks it out to Anunoby. Pass to Williams. Doncic outside. To the right side. Here's Edey. And again, Chicago, no good. Spurs trail by 19. Smart right side. Count that one. Smart's got his first bucket in this one.
So light on his feet, so agile. Good luck cutting off Smart's drive.
Pass to Shannon. That one falls. Great setup by Doncic.
And the defense has no one to blame but themselves. I mean, they just let him get right to the rim.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
Back to Capella. Here's Williams. And Williams punches it home.
Adding insult to injury with the dunk off the steal.
Nice to see a good play on D. That led to some fireworks.
Once he poked it away, you knew what was on his mind.
Pass to Shannon. And here's Alexander Walker. Back to Shamet. Shoots it from the corner. Will not go. Misses off the front iron. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Bulls. A great fourth quarter. Just giving up 2 points. Williams from long range. Doncic on the wing. And Marcus Smart picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, I think he's letting his emotions get the better of him on that foul.
To the paint. Here's Edey. And at last, they get one to fall.
Their defense just falls apart once the ball goes inside.
Pass to Fontecchio. Well, you look at the so-called super teams that have been assembled in recent years. A lot of cautionary tales.
Yeah, I mean, teams giving up their draft picks for the better part of a decade to bring in a star. It can get ugly really fast if things don't work out.
Anunoby can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 21. They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
Counted from distance. Fontecchio's got 5 points in the quarter. And timeout is called by Billy Donovan. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here. So it's both teams making substitutions here.
Substitution on
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. They set the pick. Pass to Williams. Doncic outside. Here's Mobo from deep. The rebound by Murray. Here's Shepherd. Outside Murray. And Greg Popovich has called timeout. He wants to make sure they're purposeful with the game plan.
Spurs making a change here.
Here's Aldama. Bay outside. There's a screen by Love. Out to the right wing. Clock is at 3. Murray. Chicago with a rebound. Earlier they held a 23-point lead. Doncic outside. Inside. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line.
First personal foul. Second team.
And he makes a first.
At the line for the Bulls, Williams.
Both shots good from the strike. Grant, it seems like teams today are much more data-driven than in years past.
Yeah, I agree, B.A. It's much more sophisticated. And, of course, coaches and executives are still watching the games and forming their gut opinions. But now those impressions can be cross-checked with the numbers. Changing ends quickly. Scoring before the defense can set up. They've been doing it all game.
Yeah, and that's made a huge difference. They're making the most of the chances on the break. Transition buckets decide more games than people think.
Bay outside. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. It's going to go on Jaime Jaquez.
And one thing you know about Bay, he invites contact.
And that one falls for Bay. And so Bay nails both of them. Bulls leading by 20. And here's Doncic. Outside, Williams. Let's go with a 3. The rebound by the Spurs.
The D has to respect his range. He made 2 in the first half, and he's capable of draining even more here in the second.
Here's Aldama, and he dunks it down.
With 2 hands on the rock, he powers it through.
Totally in control, protecting the ball the whole way. And timeout is called by Billy Donovan. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now. The Bulls making a switch here. And so here is Chicago. It's an 18-point lead. Pass to Shannon. Back to Doncic. Here's the pick. To the inside. Edey. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Now that's how you use the screen right there.
And it leads to a thunderous finish. That was nice.
Yeah, you like the pick to set up the open shot. But when it leads to a dunk, okay, even better, you'll take it. They are losing because he is struggling so bad, and he has not looked comfortable all game.
You know, Grant, we've seen career performances in the play-in tournament, but the stats don't count for regular season or the playoffs.
You know, that's crazy, B.A. So let's just count them as playoff stats. It used to be only 3 rounds instead of 4, so there is a precedent to adding more games to the official postseason.
Jacks up a 3. The offensive rebound. Pass to Shannon. The 3. Doesn't go that time.
Yeah, that's a shame because I'm not sure the defense will let him get a shot that good again very soon.
Murray's shot is good.
This is something that we've seen Murray continue to work on over the years. His three-point shot has improved every year.
Ooh, lots of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws will follow that whistle. That's good from Doncic.
And they've been so much more aggressive drawing the whistle here in the second half.
Doncic hits them both.
And Doncic is a walking triple-double threat. His versatility and confidence is really special.
Left side Murray. Bay outside. That three's off the mark. Bulls leading by 20. Left side Williams. Pass to Edey. Now Doncic. And the league has made it clear, Grant, it sees streaming at the forefront of basketball viewing going forward.
Well, B.A., it's a no-brainer. The internet is the future, after all, and streaming opens a lot more options for engaging with fans while they watch.
All right, let's get an update here on Clint Capella. What'd you learn, Allie?
Hey guys, San Antonio's head athletic trainer gave me an update. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound good at all. He's likely going to be out for a while. Right in the middle of the schedule, some unfortunate timing for sure. We wish him the best on his recovery. Brian?
Okay, Allie, thank you. Boy, this injury definitely looks like it could be serious, guys.
Here's hoping it's not, but yeah, this team may have to get used to playing without him for a bit.
And you just hate to see any injury, but potentially a serious one like this breaks your heart.
As always, Doncic attracts a lot of attention, makes a lot of tough shots with hands in his face.
Murray scanning the floor to end the run. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. And Grant, DeJounte Murray, a bit of a throwback player. He's comfortable attacking at all 3 levels.
Yeah, B.A., I mean, he does a lot of work in the mid-range for a guard. He's very comfortable with any shot on the floor. Not shy about putting up a ton of attempts if that's what's needed.
Doncic outside. Launches a 3. For 3. He buries it from 3.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Bulls.
And it was a big-time performance across the board. They looked like they were having fun out there, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., it was almost like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, they did pretty much anything they wanted to do out there today.
And when we look at their record, this game pushes them to 49 wins.
And with this one all but in the record books, they set the tone in the first of what will be only 2 meetings between these teams.
We've come to expect big-time games from him. Just another day at the office for Luka Doncic.
He came up with a bucket every time they needed him to. Great effort on offense, and he was a difference maker.
Here's Aldama, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Now look, he is a solid distributor. Murray is gifted at finding his teammates pretty much in any spot on the floor.
And here's Doncic outside. Drains the triple.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
All road wins. They're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. You know why? Because they are so hard to come by.
Murray from outside. The rebound by Edey. Now Doncic. So no problem for Chicago as they get the win.
Bye.